Hello my lovelies and welcome to today's video. If you couldn't tell from the title, today I am going to be talking about my hopefuls for this summer. So I guess this is my summer TBR. But I'm gonna call it, I think I'm gonna start calling these like hopefuls rather than TBRs, because if I reflect back on my spring TBR, I don't think I did very well. I don't think I did very well. Spring this year was quite hectic for me because I was finishing up my degree, so I had a lot of assignments and deadlines to meet. So reading took a bit of a backseat, a bit of a back burner. But now that I have finished uni and I'll be moving back home, I'm going to have some more time to be able to dedicate to reading. And I tend to read more in the summer anyways. Like, I love sitting in the garden or taking myself out to the beach, sitting down with my book, and I just read faster in the sun, okay? I don't know the science behind it, but this is just how it works. If you haven't already, please grab yourself a cup of tea, a coffee, hot chocolate, or just a glass of water, whatever you fancy, and let's discuss about the books I hope to read this summer. This is a new tea that I got while I was in Nuki. It's called the Nuki Brew, and it's an Assam tea. I love me an Assam tea. Okay, so these aren't in any particular order. I've literally just grabbed them from my TBR cart. These are hopefuls from my physical TBR. There will probably be new releases that come out in the summer. For example, I know for a fact, so I'm pretty sure today is the release day for the paperback of House of Flame and Shadow, which I really want to get to, but I'm not going to get that until I move home. So I probably won't be reading that until July. So until then, I am on a book, like, I know I've said this before, but I am on a book buy, like a strict book buying ban. There is no point in me buying more books when I'm literally moving in 2 weeks. I cannot buy any books this month. Anything I read needs to come from this TBR. Starting off, I think a lot of people won't be surprised by this, but it is Funny Story by Emily Henry. Firstly, the cover kind of just screams summer to me. And Emily Henry, a bit like Abby Jimenez, I think a lot of people tend to read her stuff during the spring-summer seasons. I've only read Book Lovers and it was okay. Like, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. Like some people love Emily Henry, but I've heard only good things about Funny Story, and the plot, when I read the plot on the back, really stood out to me as well. But from what I remember, Funny Story is about our two main characters who are exes. Their exes are now together. So his ex is with her ex, I believe. And I think it's a fake dating trope as well. I don't know, it sounds like a fun time and I really want to read another Emily Henry. So I'm rambling, Funny Story, let's move on. Okay, so sticking on the kind of romance train, the next book I'd love to get to this summer is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. This is on absolutely everybody's kind of romance radar, specifically when it comes to the unexpected pregnancy trope. Now, this is a trope I'm not exactly loving the idea of, but I've heard that if you're not a big fan of the unexpected pregnancy trope, you should still pick this book up and still give it a go. So that's what I'm gonna do. I've only heard good things again about this book and about Hannah Bonham Young's writing. From the sounds of it, she likes to include a lot of minority representation, so LGBTQ+, disabilities, things like that. That's quite nice and refreshing as well. Yeah, hopefully it's going to just be like a nice rom-com-ish. I don't know if it's a rom-com, but I know it's a romance. So yeah, and I tend to read more romances in the summer. Okie dokie. This next book I actually picked up in a summer TBR vlog, I think maybe 2 years ago. I don't think it was was it last year? Maybe it was last year. But I picked it up wanting to read it in the summer, and then I just never read it. But that is Living My Best, I don't know if it's Life or Lie, but I think it's Living My Best Life by Claire Frost. From what I can remember, so this is a general fiction or contemporary fiction, and we're following two characters. What does it say? Recently dumped by her boyfriend of 10 years, Belle is struggling to move on with her life and surrender the fleecy pajamas she's been living in since January. Haunted by #blessed on social media, she can't help but compare her life to those she follows online, wondering where she is going wrong. In the world of social media, Millie is the successful online influencer at me_bestlife. But in real life, she's just a regular single mum trying to make ends meet while fending off the younger competition and tenacious internet trolls. Her Instagram feed is far more #bestlie than #bestlife, and soon Millie begins to wish her life was more than like her filters. It isn't until Belle and Millie's paths cross that they begin to realise what they're both missing. Can Millie prove to Belle that life online isn't always what it appears to be? And in return, can Millie learn that she needs to start living for the moment and not for the likes? Yeah, I think this stood out to me because obviously it's very social media centric heavy. It sounds like it's obviously going to really pull on comparison of what's real and what's not real when it comes to what we see online. But yeah, I thought this would be like a fun summer read, and I kind of like the idea of it addressing something that's so prevalent in today's society as well. I don't know if this is gonna start getting like, oh, we're getting there. You can see the top of it. Okay. So something I really want to start is reading more non-fiction. Non-fiction isn't always easy to read, especially if you are predominantly a fiction reader. I am definitely going to try and challenge myself a bit more in that aspect. And one of the books that has been on my TBR for ages is Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I have only heard phenomenal things about this book. It tackles Indigenous wisdom, scientific knowledge, and the teaching of plants. So basically it's talking about the power of nature, the connection to kind of Indigenous roots and Indigenous teachings, and how we should really kind of learn from our ancestors and from Indigenous communities and how they live with the environment and live with nature rather than exploiting it, which is what the modern Western world is doing. So, like I said, I've heard only phenomenal things about this book. I really, really, really want to sink my teeth into it. So, if you have watched any of my recent videos and you've watched my recent book haul, you would have seen this book. But I really want to pick it up. It looks so good. And again, it's giving summer. It's giving summer. Summer, summer. And that is Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan. So this, if I'm remembering correctly, is kind of Chinese. Is it Chinese mythology? I could be wrong. It just says Southeast Asian influenced. I believe it's Chinese, but I could be wrong. I'm very sorry if that is incorrect. But the cover of this is so gorgeous. I'm so bad at summarizing books. I'm so sorry. Okay. Revolution is brewing in Tiankawi. In this semi-flooded city, humans are quite literally on top, peering down from shining towers on the Fathom folk who live in the polluted waters below. For half-siren Mira, promotion to captain of the border guard means an opportunity to help her downtrodden people. But everything Mira has worked towards is put in jeopardy when Nami, a know-it-all water dragon and Fathom folk royalty, is exiled to the city. When extremists sabotage the annual boat race, violence ensues, as does a clampdown on Fathom folk rights. Both Nami and Mira must decide if the cost of change is worth paying, or if Tiankawi should be left to drown. So I think we've got a bit of romance, there's obviously a fantasy, we've got political commentary. It just sounds like a good time and it's not too big. I'm rambling now, but yeah. Fathom Folk, I really want to get to this summer. I just realised that was the first fantasy. So should we keep going with fantasy? Yeah. This next one, I really wanted to I really wanted to read in the spring. Ooh, oh, did you just see me catch you? That was iconic. Oh my gosh, let me put you back. The angle has definitely changed, but you just fell and I caught you. Speedy reflexes. Anyway, as I was saying, This book I really wanted to read in the spring, but I just kind of never got round to it. But I really want to read it soon. I may even read this as my next read, I don't know. But 10,000 Stitches by Olivia Atwater. This is the second book in the Regency Fairy Tale. Yeah, Regency Fairy Tales series. The first one being Half a Soul. I think a lot of people read Half a Soul and leave it there and don't continue. I'm not doing that. I believe, if I remember correctly, this book centers around one of the characters we get introduced in Half a Soul. He was very much a cameo character, but he made me laugh so much in Half a Soul. So when I realised he's like the main character or one of the main characters in this book, I very much wanted to pick this up. Effie has most inconveniently fallen in love with the dashing Mr. Benedict Ashbrook. There's only one problem. Effie is a housemaid, and a housemaid cannot marry a gentleman. It seems that Effie is out of luck until she stumbles into the fairy realm of Lord Blackthorn, who is only too eager to help Effie win Mr. Ashbrook's heart. All he asks in return is that she sews 10,000 stitches onto his favourite jacket. Effie has heard rumours about what happens to those who accept help from fairies. But life as a maid at Hartfield is so awful that she is willing to risk even her immortal soul for a chance at something better. Now she has 100 days and 10,000 stitches to make Mr. Ashbrook fall in love and propose. If Lord Blackthorn doesn't wreck things by accident, that is. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I think this is going to be a really good time. Regency, cozy fantasy, sign me up. Sticking to fantasy, this is a book I picked up so long ago, like I think 3 years ago, and every summer I've been like, I'm gonna pick it up, I'm gonna read it, and I never did, and I refuse to read it in any other season because this screams summer to me, and that is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trista Levenseller. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. This is a YA fantasy, I believe, about pirates. That doesn't scream summer, I don't know what does. I haven't actually read the back of this in quite some time, so let's read this together. 17-year-old Alosa, daughter of the feared Pirate King, is on a mission. She must retrieve an ancient hidden map, the key to the legendary treasure trove. The catch? Alosa needs to conceal her considerable combat skills and allow herself to be captured by her enemies, giving her the perfect opportunity to search their ship. More than a match for the ruthless pirate crew, Alosa has only one thing standing between her and the map: her captor, the unexpectedly clever and unfairly attractive first mate Ryden. But luckily, she has a few tricks up her sleeve, and no lone pirate can stop the daughter of the Pirate King. So this just sounds like it's a fun YA fantasy romance. I'm hoping the YA bit concerns me a little bit. I'm hoping this is going to be kind of like Cinder YA. If you didn't watch my reading wrap up when I talked about it, Cinder basically, even though it's a YA, it's not so YA that I feel like I'm reading a children's book. I'm hoping this is going to be the same vibe. It even has a quote from Pirates of the Caribbean from Captain Jack Sparrow on the front, which is one of my favourite movie series of all time. Daughter of the Pirate King. Okie dokie, we're going to keep going with the fantasy vibe, and this book I'm so excited about. Again, I bought this recently, but I also literally today watched Katie is reading one of her, I think it was like either her newest or just before that, nearly newest reading vlog. I don't know. Anyway, she read this book in that reading vlog and she loved it. So I'm very, very excited to give this book a go. And that is A Letter to the Illuminous Deep by Sylvie Catherall. Cozy fantasy light academia. So if you like Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, it's like that, but mermaids, is what I'm gathering. Similar to Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, where that's written in diary format. I believe this is written, yeah. So this is written as letters corresponding between characters. I'm so excited to pick this up. It sounds amazing. From what Katie's reading was saying, there's kind of two, I get couples. I say couples like there's two pairs that we follow. you've got the first pair and then the siblings of that pair. And one of the pairs is kind of like a friendship that you see blossom, and then the second pair is like a romance that you see blossom. I am so excited. Again, it just screams summer. It seems like the perfect time to pick this up. I read this sentence and I fell for this book. It says, "A Letter to the Luminous Deep is a charming and cozy fantasy set in an underwater world with magical academia and a heartwarming pen pal romance." I'm sold. Yeah, I'm sold. This next one I am so excited about as well, and I'm gutted because the author is doing a talk at Toppings here in Bath, but in July. So by the time they come to do the talk, I'm no longer going to be living in Bath and I can't go to the talk. I'm really gutted about it. I'm really sad. But anyway, Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. Firstly, I just fell in love with this cover when I saw it in the bookshop instantly. But again, we have got ourselves a cozy fantasy. And it also sounds like it's a little bit of a comedy as well, which will be quite fun. I've never read a T. Kingfisher before, but apparently she is like iconic in the cozy fantasy genre. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this. It says on the back, Paladin's Grace is a darkly whimsical cozy fantasy featuring sock knitting paladins, badass perfumers, courtroom hijinks, and heart-racing romance from Nebula and two-time Hugo Award-winning author T. Kingfisher. I do think the summer is the time for like low-stake fantasy, and this is exactly what this sounds like. So I am ready to gobble this up. That's so wonky. So the final book, we are going back to romance, and I thought this was such a fun book to finish on because this is summer. This is summer in the cover, in the title, and in the author. Did we really think I wasn't going to get Ali Hazelwood's newest release? I'm sorry, but did we really think that was going to happen? No, obviously not. So this is Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I'm going to be honest, a bit like Deep End, I am a little bit hesitant because the trope in this book is the large age gap trope, but it's also brother's best friend trope, which I don't think I've read before. I don't think I've read a brother's best friend, or have I? Christmas Tree Farm is technically, I guess, a brother's best friend. This follows characters that we meet in Ali Hazelwood's book Not in Love. Now that one, I feel like I might reread Not in Love before reading this. I don't think you have to read Not in Love to read this because it is just a separate story. But we are at the wedding of the two main characters of Not in Love, and we follow in this Maya, who is the sister of the guy in Not in Love, and his best friend Connor. Maya is 23 and Connor is 38. So we've got a bit of an age gap. Beautiful Ionian coast. So it's the perfect summer read. I am just a little bit hesitant about the tropes, but we've all established at this point, if Ali Hazelwood is going to write and release a book, I am going to pick it up and read it. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping this is going to be a little bit more to her earlier works, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay. These are the 10 books that I'm hoping to get to this summer. Let me know in the comments below if you have read any of these books, and if so, what did you think of them, or do you plan to read any of these books? Again, let me know. If you've made it this far into the video, one, thank you so much, but also comment below the sun emoji as we are celebrating summer. And maybe like the beach emoji as well, because why not? The more emojis, the better. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm going to pop these down before I drop them everywhere. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope the start of your summer is going swimmingly. And I really hope to see you all in the next video. Bye!